Another conversation that I had recently was about global corporate governance, and we were having the conversation. Well, I got to go back a little bit. One of my first years in law school, I was interviewing with a law firm, and they asked me a question about, if a client was about to lay off like a lot of people, thousands of people, how would I advise the client to do that? And I really jumped into it. I really stepped into the minefield on the answer that I gave. It was a horrible answer. I essentially said, I would try to advise them how to minimize, the hurt that they did to people, talking to their labor force, and just kind of gave like a kumbaya kind of answer. Wasn't really talking about finances or anything like that. I was really just talking about trying to be as kind to their employees as possible. Fast forward, I was speaking with a few potential clients over the weekend about global corporate governance and the idea that, this is, potential clients. I can't call them clients yet. I don't think anyone's a client until they pay me. That's just my personal opinion. Even though they've indicated, but, again, anyway, I don't even know why that's important, why I just said that. The point being this. We were talking about global corporate governance, and I think I put up this quote where I was talking about like the CEO of BlackRock, can't even remember his name right now, it's drawing a complete blank, was just talking about profits and the purpose, the role of global corporate governance. And I've been speaking with a lot of colleagues. That's kind of been something that has been not really on my mind, but just in the conversations that I'm having lately, where we're talking about, the world is getting smaller, the responsibilities of each corporation in terms of what its impact is going to be. And I was talking to a client specifically about their environmental impact with some of the work they're doing. I won't get too far into that, but it was just some environmental work. I'll just leave it at that. And I think if you would have asked me that question when I had that answer with the law firm, I again would probably have given a kumbaya answer to them and said something along the lines of, hey, you need to really take a step and think about what you're doing here, because it's going to impact, the local economy and then the environment, and it's going to not embarrass your brand, but it's going to influence your brand, not just here locally in the Pittsburgh area, but also internationally, because people will obviously find out about this and they're going to know what you kind of stand for in that way. So this is an international company. This is not just a local company here. And I think that the big thing that I left with that conversation and just I've been thinking about over the past couple of days is there is no such thing as a local impact anymore. Even though a company might, especially if you're an international company, I should say that. Maybe if you're just a mom and pop store, I don't know, maybe 6 degrees, how small things are. It's almost like the butterfly effect. And the world is so small nowadays and everything is so connected. It's difficult for me to imagine anything that wouldn't impact the world in some way. And I say that to say that a lot of my counsel lately, especially to companies and startups that are thinking about what their impact is going to be, I think that has to be something that is intentionally put into your formation documents, your articles of incorporation, your vision, whatever it is. And I'm seeing a lot of startups that are thinking like that, but I'm not really seeing a lot of larger corporations that are thinking like that truly. Maybe as a PR stunt they are, I'm not really sure. But I do think that it is very, 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 very important for the leadership, the shareholders, the board of directors, the executive leadership, to be very intentional about the kind of impact that they are going to have on the world, not just from a PR standpoint, but just from a logistical, we know that we are doing business in a way that is going to impact a lot of lives and the world. Regardless of what our intentions are in terms of making money, we also have to take an ancillary approach to what is that pursuit of profits going to then result in terms of our global impact. And I know that's difficult because a lot of businesses, you want to put food on the table, you want to make profits, you got shareholders, you have obligations that are largely financial in and of themselves, fiduciary responsibilities. But at the same time, you cannot, in my view, and this is the 2 years ago talking and the now talking, you can't sacrifice profits for long-term impact. You just can't.